Cheap Not Broke fam. How we doing? What's going on? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're happy. Hope you're healthy. If you haven't, if you're first time, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It would be very much appreciated. I just hit 1,200 subscribers. Yay! Thank you all to the new subscribers, everybody that's just tuned in, came on. You're very much appreciated. And happy belated Halloween. Halloween was yesterday. Today is November 1st. I hope you had a great awesome, dope Halloween. I myself was Freddy Krueger. I had a good time. Had a good time doing that. Yeah, enjoyed a whole lot. I'll show you some pictures of my costume and stuff like that later. But yes, what we want to get to today, Doordash, Uber Eat. I mean, damn it. I talk about Uber Eats. I mean Uber on Monday. DoorDash, they got this new tip policy. This new tip policy, how they're making you tip. They're making you tip before you got to get your food, which is trash. I don't understand. How you gonna make me tip before I get my food? You know, some of these people don't even do a good job, but they want you to tip up front. So that's what's going on right now. In your latest news in DoorDash. Yeah. Oh, muted. My microphone is muted. Has my mic been muted this whole time? I hope not. I sincerely hope not. Um, DoorDash. Yeah, so they you got to tip first. You got to tip, and then they're gonna bring you the food. First off, that doesn't make you tip when somebody provides superior service. They can't get you all they can do is get you the food faster. It's not like if it's wrong, they're gonna take it back and come back in. It's not like they're gonna do that. So I don't really understand what this is all about. What is this all about? Why are y'all doing this? This is DoorDash's job. This is they're supposed to be paying the people, not us. So you're compensating these people's income. Like, look, nah, man, I'm not paying anybody up front before you deliver the order. I tip you, like, give you a $10 tip. You can still show up with an attitude. Throw them a food, and they eat the food. Everybody doesn't even put the food in a sealed bag. I know Shake Shack used to do that. During COVID, they would have a sealed bag with the adhesive, so nobody couldn't get in there. Because I know some of these greedy mofos be in there eating up all the food. I know that's what they do. You know it. Look at them. They don't have no uniform. I got a bit of go watch my stand-up. I got a bit about DoorDash and how they don't have no uniforms and the people acting a damn fool. And now you got to tip them up front. They're going to leave your stuff hanging. Let me tell you something. But see, the restaurants, you're going to lose money because if somebody doesn't tip, the food's going to sit there and get cold. They may not want it no more. And you already prepared. This is going to cost a lot of restaurants money. It's gonna cost a lot of restaurants money. I can see it happening right now. I just don't see. I don't see DoorDash being around another 10 years. Airbnb is struggling. DoorDash is struggling. All these places where you hope people come to work. You hope they come to work. They're all struggling. They're all doing bad. Why? Because it doesn't work like that. You know, you got these people out here working for tips. They got to work for tips because the pay ain't great. When the last time somebody with a salary asked for a tip? They don't, because they're getting paid pretty good. When you're paid well, you don't need this stuff. And I'm not knocking anybody who drives DoorDash or Uber Eats or whatever the case. You got to do what you got to do. But let's be honest, the pay ain't great. The pay is not great. People are not leaving their salary jobs to go drive DoorDash or Uber Eats. But you will take your ass from DoorDash Uber Eats to go work a salary job. Healthcare, benefits, time off. You get none of that with DoorDash and Uber Eats. You get nothing. All you do is drive. On holidays, you don't get no time off. And then they control the software. So let's say they don't want to send you no apps. You know, they don't want to DoorDash, Uber Eats, they want to be slow. They don't want to send you nothing. Shout out to my viewer. What's going on? Talking about DoorDash, Uber Eats, they're charging you tips before they bring the food now. Ain't that you already know what it is. Don't want to get my video flag. Ain't that something? So you incentivizing people to be lazy because they're going to go down and say, well, who tipped? And that's going to raise the price of your order. DoorDash and Uber Eats is already expensive as hell. That stuff costs a lot of money. But being that it does cost a lot of money, I said, hold up, I got to get the price breakdown. We got to get the price breakdown. We had to look at it. Where's the price breakdown? I had to go check this out and find out what the price breakdown was so it can make sense. Because they charge you too much money. I'm trying to tell you. DoorDash, Uber Eats, you might pay twice as much as the food costs. What we about to see right now, let's take a look at this article I got real quick. Here we go. DoorDash pushes back against delivery fee commissions with new charges. Bam. Let's get right down here. All right. You with me? Shout out to my one viewer. Appreciate you tuning in. Here we go. All right. Okay. That's because Avocado Coast customers have been ordering through DoorDash brings up 11.9. All right. So there's some avocado toast. DoorDash brings in only about $11.90 to the restaurant. All right. So we got this. That's because avocado toast, $14 toast customers have been ordering through DoorDash, brings in only $11.92 to the restaurant. DoorDash takes $2.10, all right, $2.10, and then it adds $2 Oakland fee, and then a $2 service fee. So right now you are at $6.20 in fees, with a 9% county sales tax, which is $1.30. So now we are at 640. Where are we at right now? We were at 640 the dollar service, so we're at 730. So we're at 730, and then the DoorDash order comes to 19. Oh, so it's 14, and then they're adding on all these fees, so it comes up to 1940, not including a tip that would go to the DoorDash driver before the pandemic. The same $14 avocado toast eaten at the restaurant costs $14 plus tip. So damn. You're paying almost $6 right here, plus tip, plus sales tax, plus what you got to pay the driver. They're killing you. They're taking all your money. You're paying twice as much for the food on DoorDash and Uber Eats. Then you should be just going to get the food, picking it up. Now, let's see. I get it. If you don't have any food, if you don't have a car, something like that. I understand. I understand you got to go through that. Let's see what else they got going on here. Where food delivery fees are being capped, city or county enacted. Let's see. California, yes. Let's see. State law enacted. State law proposed. Okay, California. So we're getting screwed. All right, there we go. State law enacted. Let's see. Washington, Oregon, and Vermont, and 4 states, y'all. 4 states. 4 states say you can't overcharge me for DoorDash and Uber Eats. All these other states say we don't give a damn. City or county enacted, bam. So a couple cities over here got it going, and city or county proposed. So basically, nobody's doing it. Nobody says you can't charge this amount of money. DoorDash, Uber Eats, just cook. 1940. What's happening, Steven? 1940, just cook. I agree. You should just cook. You should cook. People should cook like now. Look, I think you should just cook at home. You're absolutely right. Cooking does save a lot of time, saves a whole lot of money. But here's the thing: we gotta talk about, Steve. Everybody can't cook. Some people's food is nasty. Some people's food is really, really nasty. Everybody's not a good cook. And then we can go a whole nother story about health and that stuff not being healthy. But yes, you should cook at home. Now, what's my problem with cooking at home sometimes? The cleanup, I don't like cleaning up. You cook, let's say, you're gonna cook some chicken breast, you're gonna make some mashed potatoes and some green beans. All right, cool. Not that hard, fairly simple, but you gotta cook it. Cook it takes like an hour. Now, I like hand whipped mashed potatoes. I peel mine and boil them. So that's what I like to do, and shop around for the best bargains. Oh, that's what we do at Cheap Not Broke. We're always shopping around for the best bargains. We're definitely gonna talk about that in a second. Shop around for the best bargains. But this is just to clean it up. I hate that part. So what do? I buy paper plates and paper towels. Now I'm kind of on the fence with that because I'm a big guy on the environment. I recycle. I'm big on that. I don't like to recycle. I don't litter. I don't do anything. If I got trash, I will take it with me and throw it away somewhere else. That's just not my thing. But the cleanup really sucks. Now, and also, like Steve said, you got to go find a bargain because if you can listen, you cannot go to one store and buy everything you need. Nowhere. There's no store you can just go and buy everything. Some places you got to go get your meats. Some places you go get your vegetables. Some places you go get your dry goods like your toilet paper, your paper towels, and all these other things. You got to go to different stores to save money. I have yet, if you're on the chat right now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know any store where you can go and buy everything. Even Walmart. Walmart's dirt cheap. Don't get me wrong. But you can't get everything in Walmart. I go to Costco. I got a Costco card. Some stuff is cheaper in there. My laundry detergent is cheaper in Walmart, but my water is cheaper in Costco. So you got to jump around to find stuff. That's what makes it kind of stuff. That's what makes it difficult, especially if you don't have a car. If you don't have a car, you probably got to go back to DoorDash, Uber Eats, all that good stuff. And hold on, what happened to my sound? I think my sound's making sure my sound's straight. Yeah, so if you don't have a car, you got to use DoorDash and Uber Eats. But if you add up all the fees, they are really going upside your head. Like the article said. Let's go back to the article real quick. They were taking like $6. $6. Where is that? If you just got on, let's go back to that article real quick. Where are we at? Oh yeah, right here. So the avocado toast is first off, I don't know why the hell you're paying $14 for toast. You can like Steve said, you can go get some food, but buy some groceries for $14. It's $11.90, so they're charging you $2.10. That's what they take, okay? And then it adds on a $2 Oakland fee. What's the Oakland fee? I mean, isn't that taxes? Come on. And then $2 service fee. See, they just changed the names. They're taking a DoorDash takes $2.10, and then they're taking another $2.10. So they're taking 2 fees. Look, it's ridiculous. It's really outrageous how many fees they take. And then most people who order DoorDash and Uber Eats, you're getting trash. Shout out to E. What's happening, E? My God. Shopping for the best deals is a must. You got to shop for the best deals. You got to shop for the best deals out here. Even when you're looking for the food, even when you're trying to find good food, you got to go looking for the best deals. But there's no best deal when you're shopping with DoorDash or Uber Eats. I tell you that. There is no good deal. There's no good. I stopped going to door. I used them maybe one time because I was at work, and this is something I get all the time. I think it was Chipotle or something. I go pick it up all the time. But when I order it, okay. When I ordered from DoorDash and Uber Eats, it was like an extra $8, $9. So it was like 50% of the order what I was paying in fees. And I thought that was crazy. I thought that was ridiculous. So I stopped using them. That is crazy. That those fees and stuff it's all crazy. It's all out of pocket. And they're just taking advantage of people. They're taking advantage of people. But this is what you can do. Cheap not broke. This is what we can do. So DoorDash and Uber Eats, you can't really avoid the fees. There's nothing you can really do about that. Now, if you're in a situation where uh, hell, I don't really know what you can do. You got to cook at home. You really got to cook at home. There's no really way to get around the fees. I've heard about there's some other stuff you can do, but I'm not into all that. I don't think it's legal. There's an app out there where it reduces your price, and I don't know how you do all that. I'm not into that. I do know this much. Like everybody said, like Steve said, like Steven said, like he said, you got to cook at home. You got to get on Pinterest, and then you got to get on YouTube and go find some stuff. There's a ton of channels to go find some good food. Last week, I just made lo mein. I just made some lo mein for the first time. Well, not the first time, like the fifth time. All right. I was muted. Thank you. I appreciate you. Shout out to my man E. I was mute. I was all just talking away. Um, Sounds back on. Good stuff. Thank you. But yeah, like I was saying, the Uber Eats and stuff, you really can't avoid the fees. There's nothing you can really do about that. If you're stuck somewhere and you can't go get nothing to eat, you best to buy some groceries. When I was in college, we didn't have DoorDash, we didn't have Uber Eats. I used to buy I used to buy like 2 Big Macs, 2 or 3 Big Macs. I'll eat 2 in the same day, eat 1 the next day. I don't eat Big Macs I eat them here and there. But back then, I didn't, I was a freshman in college. I didn't have a car. And we didn't have DoorDash or Uber Eats. So I would buy more food to make sure I have some for the next day. And that's kind of the same thing when when you're cooking. You got to buy enough food and have some for the next day. When I started cooking, I got my first apartment. I would cook enough food, eat it all the same day, and didn't want to have anything the next day. Then I would go out and eat. And I noticed this habit. I said, damn, I'm cooking all the time and I'm still going out to eat. This is a problem. Problem solved. I had to make sure I bought enough food, and then I was good. But here's where where it goes. At that time, what was I doing? I was buying too much food. I'm leaving stuff in the freezer. It's getting freezer burnt. I'm trying to be healthy. I'm buying all these vegetables and I'm not eating them. So I had to say, all right, man, I had to get that stuff under control. I was spending way too much money. And like I said, Steve said, even eating at home is good, but you got to learn how to cook at home too, because you can buy too much food and you'll be throwing stuff away all the damn time. Trust me, I did it for a long time. Buying all this stuff is, you go to the refrigerator. What's that smell? Didn't eat it. Went bad. So, it's a whole nother thing. Halloween was yesterday. I had a good time. I was Freddy Krueger. I had a good time out there. I'm going to take a real quick break right quick. I'm going to show you what I did for Halloween. Hopefully yours was good. Check out what I did. if you're ever in Los Angeles on Halloween, they have this huge Halloween parade. It's like thousands and thousands of people. That's not even I didn't even get to put the whole video together. I'll put the whole video together another time. I know it was just Halloween yesterday. I just wanted to show everybody what was going on. I was supposed to be Freddy. I had the Freddy mask. It was hot as hell in that thing. I had to take it off. I took a couple pictures, took it off. My mask was too big. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna walk around as is. But it was cool, man. A good time. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I had a good time. They hadn't had that parade in a long time. I wish I'd have got some free candy. I wish I got some free candy. I didn't get any free candy. But back to the Uber Eats thing. Yeah, Uber Eats, DoorDash, whole scam, spending too much money, all that good stuff. Now, I will tell you another thing that I started doing. I did start going to Costco back in January. I don't know. I know Steve, he's from I know you're from the UK. I don't know if they have Costco over in the UK. I used to be a member of Sam's Club, started going to Costco. Costco's great. It is great. I mean, damn, you get a lot of good stuff, a lot of good deals. I didn't realize how good Costco was because I'm like, I don't want to pay the $65 membership. You break it down, it's only $5 a month. But some of the stuff I get out of there, I've bought in toilet paper twice, 2 times this year because you get so much toilet paper, paper towels, you get a ton of stuff from Costco. So Costco is great. Another news, I want to talk about this some because this I thought this was kind of crazy. I don't know if you're familiar with the Flint water crisis, but Flint, Michigan had a water crisis a couple years ago, and their mayor, their governor, the pipes were all messed up, and people died. People were getting poisoned, all this stuff, and they died. And nobody's going to jail. The governor's not going to jail. Why am I bringing this up? Because look, your health and safety, the city does not really care about it as much as you think they do. These people are now, of course, Flint was not a wealthy community, to put it like that. They didn't have a lot of money. They're poor. A lot of poor people in Flint, Michigan. Nobody can hire lawyers and get attorneys and fight for this stuff. So as a result of that, people are drinking bad water and they died. That's terrible. What do you got to do? Me, now, what do I do? Because I don't believe the water's great here in Los Angeles either. I got water purifiers, and like I got one in my shower, my sink. It's small stuff, but I do purify all my water because, like I said, just Flint, Michigan, all these places, they don't really give a damn, man. Water's important, and I don't think the city does the best job with it. And the fact that this happened in America. The government allowed everybody to get poisoned. Nobody's going to jail. That's a problem. That's a serious problem. And you need water. You cook with water, you bathe with water, you do all kind of stuff with water. So you need some clean water. And the city they're not really doing a good job making sure your water's clean. So I just want to bring that up. If you do have water, you got children or whatnot, filter your water, make sure your water's clean because there's a lot of crap water. There's a lot of crap water out here. There's a ton of crap water out there. So just wanted to bring that up. And but yeah, back this whole DoorDash Uber Eats thing, it comes around about cooking at home. Now, one thing I've been considering doing, I don't know if anybody's had a private chef before. Great experience. I would tell you to give it a shot. Having a private chef is crazy. Yeah, you got to boil your water. Boil your water, man. So I go to a water shop and I get my water purified. So I pay, they have this, they put it through all these tanks. But yeah, you do got to boil your water. You got to boil your water. You got to stay safe, man. Because this stuff, like I said, the city doesn't really give them. Nobody got in trouble for that. That's crazy. Nobody got in trouble. Here's why. You can't, if they put the governor, I don't think in history a governor has been put in jail. I got to look that up. I don't know. But if they put a governor in jail, that's probably going to open up a can of worms because a lot of governors doing a lot of illegal stuff, tons of illegal stuff. They put him in jail, they put other people in jail. So for whatever reason, your top officials don't end up getting put in jail. I don't understand it. I don't like it, whatever the case may be. But back to eating at home, eating healthy. You got all these. I don't know if you've seen Food Inc., all the documentaries on Netflix. It's really crazy with the food. It's really crazy. You got to really do a deep dive in what you're eating. I know I have eczema. My skin, I have issues with my skin. My skin is dry. So I had to stop drinking sweet tea. I used to drink sweet tea all the time. Had to stop drinking it. I had to stop. I don't eat meat before noon. And I don't eat anything sweet before 12 o'clock. So I had to change my whole diet because of the food. And when you go on DoorDash and Uber Eats, what do you see on there? Trash food. It's not good food. The food's not great. that food that they're delivering to you is not great. And the reason why they need tips is because their average ticket's not that high. I mean, come on, if you're getting food from Chipotle, Shake Shack, or whatever the case, people aren't spending that much money. So naturally, they're not going to want to tip. If I'm spending $14 on food, I'm probably not going to want to tip either. And then tips are, correct me if I'm wrong, Steve. Do you guys tip in the UK? Do you tip in the UK? Is that thing? Because I know culturally in different countries, certain countries tip, certain don't. In America, you better tip or you're gonna look crazy. I wish they could do away with tip and just pay people more money. But I'm just trying to figure out. I want to get to the whole bottom of this tipping culture because it's really getting out of pocket. Everywhere you go, they're asking you for a tip, and then they put it on the screen, and the person looks at you. I don't feel bad because I'm not. I believe in paying for good service. I have no problem tipping. If somebody gives me great service, I'm going to tip them. I have no problem with it. Take my money. However, I just don't feel like there should be a sense of entitlement. I don't think you should just, because you're showing up, I should give you extra money. That doesn't make sense to me. How can you find a personal chef? Sounds like a great experience if you only get a good date. So, how do we find a personal chef? How do we find a person? I got on Google. I didn't find much luck, but I got on Instagram. I started looking for personal chefs in my area, and we had to do some calling around. Instagram was the best bet. Uh, yeah, because Google, they didn't provide enough pictures because you want to look and see somebody's work, and Google didn't do that. So I would say get on Instagram, do it. A couple years ago, we had a personal chef in Costa Rica. Yes, if you go back and watch my old videos, one of my travel videos, I got it on there. Had a personal chef in Costa Rica. It was great. So that's what you got to do, E. Check that out. Thanks. They asked, do you tip on tipping right? Man, listen, the tips are getting out of control. And then, like, what is the standard? 30%, 40%? I've done the math sometimes. It's not always right. It's not always right. And two, when you do check out, it'll automatically check the 20% box. Sometimes if you just hit okay, it'll automatically put you in a position where you have to tip. Make sure you uncheck that box. Don't just give up the money if you don't want to. That's not how you do it. Let's see. Not a thing. No, not a thing only at restaurant. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Not a thing only at restaurant. Yeah, see, it's tipping is so when you go, not only when you go to a restaurant, hell, you can go check out at H&M. They want to ask you, do you give a tip? But this is just companies passing the buck. They're passing the buck to you. They're supposed to pay their employees because here's what they do. If they're constantly tipping, they're not on the hook to pay. Because if you increase my hourly wage, you have to pay me that because you're obligated by law. But if it's tips, well, if the person pays you, they do. If they don't, they don't. Yep. Bet. Practice that. Appreciate that. Oh, yeah, man. Anytime. Yeah, it's a good place, man. If you got your lady, private chef, and whatever, man, listen, when I had my first private chef, it was like a whole cannabis experience. It was great, man. This man, he made some stuff I've never had, and I haven't had it since. So both times I had a private chef, the food that they made, I haven't had it since. I mean, it's like they made it especially for me. It was awesome. It was a great experience. I really loved it. And I would do it again. I want to do it for Thanksgiving, but at this time, you probably gotta find somebody. I don't know. You might find someone. Thanksgiving, if it's just you and your lady or like two people, great. A big party, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it because it can get really, really pricey. And then they're gonna add, just like DoorDash and Uber Eats, they're gonna add on those extra fees and all that stuff. But before you guys got on here, man, I was talking about holidays. I was talking about the holidays and making sure you're not overspending for the holidays. Don't let anybody peer pressure you or make you feel bad or not about not spending money for the holidays, because some people got it tough. Everybody doesn't have it. People are going through some hard times right now. So, I know people are going to spend their last trying to buy somebody a gift for Christmas or whatever the case, and they may not even appreciate it. And then you're going to be upset because you bought them something that you thought they would love and they're not going to even use it or they don't even care about it. If you are going to buy somebody something, ask them what they want. And two, make sure it's something you can afford. Don't have buyer's remorse. Don't buy stuff that you feel like you can't afford. And then later on, you're feeling bad about it. People, it's, man, I forget the statistic, but credit card rates, usage rate goes all the way up in November, December. You got Black Friday coming up. Today's the 1st. Black Friday's coming up in like 3 weeks. And then you got Christmas. People are going to be swiping their cards like crazy. And then January comes, you're trying to pay off all this debt. And then you're paying interest on top of that. We're not going to do that. Everybody here on Cheap Not Broke, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We pay cash for our stuff. We're not putting anything on credit, especially not gifts, because it doesn't make sense to pay interest on an ironing board. If you buy somebody an ironing board, you should pay cash for that. You shouldn't be doing that stuff. Make sure you spend and keep it all up. Keep it under control. It's up to you if you want to tip. If I get a good service, I tip. But if it's shit, if I know what I'm doing, that's right. It's up to you. It should be up to you to tip. But here in the States, they shame you and they make you feel bad about tipping. Somebody will get on their phone and tip. Just imagine being like a celebrity or a famous person. Man, they expect you to tip $100 to $200. It's crazy. But here's the thing. Is the service good? If the service is good, people don't mind tipping. People will tip. People tip. I don't mind tipping. I have no problem dropping a tip if the service is good. Honestly, I feel really bad if I don't give this. I'm like, man, we got to get this. We got some money. And if it's a situation where it's cash, I'm like, well, I've asked a couple people. I said, well, do you have Cash App or Zelle? Let me send you something. Let me send you something because, I didn't have any cash on me. So I make sure I get you some money. I know what it's like. I used to bust tables. I had to tip. And, I used to get tips. And sometimes it was cool. Sometimes it wasn't. I saved £200 a month, £200 a month for Christmas. Awesome for you. That's good for you, Steven. I try to do the same thing. I started saving money for Christmas. But I got a budget. I got a cap. So I'm only going to spend, maybe $1,000 for everybody. $1,000. Oh, well, okay. I got a girlfriend. I got to spend a little more than that. But I got a cap. I'm not going to spend all my money. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to spend. This is it. No more than this, because you still got to live life past the holidays. You got January, February. And then after, the holidays come up, you want to travel. It's nice and hot outside. You want to get going. So all that good stuff going on, man. But, man, DoorDash, Uber Eats, they robbing people. They robbing people. When you use it next time, ask yourself, do I really want to pay these fees? Am I starving? If you're not starving, get in the car and go. Go pick it up. 2, those people don't be looking to clean it. They be a little dirty. I've seen people scratch their ass and come pick up the food. They dig in their nose. And look, the car don't even be all that clean. The car don't even be clean. So I'm just like, look, they got to hire better people for me. I do not trust those folks. They don't look very clean. The sanitation level is a 0. It's a 0. But mark my words. You heard it here first. It's not going to last. It's not going to last. People are going to get tired of this, and they're going to stop using DoorDash or Uber Eats, just like Airbnb. Matter of fact, next week, we're going to talk about Airbnb because Airbnb is going down the tubes. Airbnb is going down the tubes. I don't want to get into all that tonight, but here's my thing. If you're going to come back to the next show, think about this. When you go to Airbnb, where is the standard of service? There's no standard of service. People, you have some hosts who really go out their way to make your stay really nice. And some guys, they just drop off the key and that's it. Everybody charges. You think DoorDash and Uber Eats are charging crazy fees? Man, you have no idea what that that Airbnb cleaning fee is. The cleaning fee is half the stay. Do you know how many rentals I passed up on because of the cleaning fee? Rental might say $250 a night. I'm cool with that. Add the cleaning fee. Cleaning fee is $50 a night. Now we at $300 a night. Not doing it. Not doing it. I refuse. When you use Uber Eats, we just get $200. When we use Uber Eats, we just get so y'all get charged a flat fee. That is nice. We do not get charged a flat fee. There is a charge a flat fee, but then you're expected to tip. So here in America, the driver gets to determine if they don't. So when they pull up the app, they're going to see who's left a tip. So when you pay for your food, you got to leave a tip in advance. And they're going to see who left a tip. And then based on who left the tip, that's the orders they're going to pick up. It's really a scam. It's a scam, but that's how they're doing it. So I don't know. That's how they rocking. Anyway, but next week, we're going to get into this Airbnb stuff, man. Because Airbnb, I don't know how long they're going to be around. I really think they're messing up. I'm not a fan of what they've been doing. They, charging all these fees, and you hear some nightmares. People with the cameras, it's a lot of stuff. Hotels, they always got somebody up front. They always got somebody up front to help you, and that's what I appreciate. I appreciate E tuning in. I appreciate Steven tuning in with Night, dropping the comments. You guys are much appreciated, man. We'll be back on. Nope, we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, so we'll be back tomorrow night. You know what? We're gonna talk about Airbnb tomorrow night. We're not gonna wait till next week. Tomorrow, Airbnb. I'm gonna bring in the facts. I'm gonna find a breakdown of how much the fees are, and hell, we can look at some Airbnbs because you know what? I'm looking for somewhere to go. So I'm trying to find me an Airbnb because I got some time off coming up and I need to get out. So we're going to look at Airbnbs, break down the price, break down the cost. Does it make sense to get an Airbnb or does it make sense to get a hotel? Because sometimes Airbnb works great when you got a lot of people because you can drive the price down. But when you got a hotel, you can't do that. But that's for tomorrow night. We'll talk about that tomorrow night. Hey, stay safe, Stephen. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. E, I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to keep going. This is my 4th week going live 3 times a week. I love it. I appreciate everybody tuning in. As long as you guys are here, I'm going to be here. I'm going to keep dropping the information, helping us save money. I'm going to talk some credit stuff because I know the credit, accounting, all that stuff. We're all going to talk it, have fun, laugh, and have a good time while we're doing it. Everybody stay safe. Tomorrow night, Airbnb. Stay safe. Take care. I appreciate you all. And if you haven't, please check out cheapnotbroke.com. You always know the drill. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Stay safe. Good night.